Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mugshot Monday. I'm coming to you live from Bald Head Island. Not live. When you hear this, it'll be recorded. I'm here with Keisha, and Keisha is in her same spot in Houston, looking beautiful.
Thank
And
you. It's you're live from what is it? Nappy Head Eagle Island. What is it called?
how rude. Bald Head
Bald
Island.
Head Island.
Uh-huh.
You're live from there for me,
Yeah, I am.
technically. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in this room, which is a room this is a 4-bedroom house, and there's only 2 of us here. So we've got
Oh,
all
nice.
these extra rooms. And it's so funny, when we first got here, Ginger walked around every room and we didn't know where she was. We're like, where she's gone? Is she going to poop somewhere? We need to
Right.
find her. She would just come out of the back and be like, what? And then she'd come back to these back bedrooms. We haven't found her doing anything nefarious. I think she's just like so excited to like sniff a new place.
Or I mean, she's like Shantae and True when they had that Airbnb. There's just two.
Yes.
There's like 7 bedrooms, and just every time we
Right.
would see them, they'd be in a different bedroom. It's like, okay, I mean, if you're paying for it, test them all out. Might as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And the same thing, the house that we are actually transferring houses on Monday, because we came early, so we couldn't get that house. So we're in this house for 2 nights, and they're transferring to a different house, and they're going to be like, it's going to be the same thing all over again. They're going to be like, wait, what's this house? So
New
yeah,
house, who did?
new house. Who? Yes.
Who did?
So hopefully everything will sound okay, because I'm in a different spot. I tried to pad everything else, pad it as good as I could to make the
It
sound.
sounds good. It
All
sounds good.
right.
It sounds like normal.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Well, listen, Life After Lockup, it's heating up, and I'm very excited
It
because I keep
is.
seeing the ads for, is it Love During? I think it's Love After Lockup, or is it During?
No, Love During is gonna premiere in December. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love During. So we're starting it all over again
A
with a
whole
new
new
batch of
set.
dummies. Yep.
So I guess what they'll do is they'll be like season 6, episode 1, and do it that way. That's how they're doing. They figured it out. They're going to go during, after, and then life after, and they're going to keep it
Yep.
the same season. So they never have
Over and
to
over
pay
again.
anybody new money. So, because this is season 5, episode 42. So
They're
that's how
so
they
wrong.
do it.
Matt Sharp, stop being cheap.
I know. I'm going to talk to him about that one day if I ever get to talk to him. Um, Other than just at a party where I beg him to have an interview, and he says, yes, I will absolutely do it. And then
And he
it's
hasn't done it.
ghost town. Yeah. Um,
Ooh, Matt Sharp ghosting.
I know, but I reached out again this week to my person, to ask their
Okay.
person, to ask that person, to ask. So we'll see. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, Life After Lockup season 5, episode 42 is called, it's not called Welcome Home. That was the title of, or is it the title? I thought last week was Welcome Home.
Because that's when they had the welcome home party.
Yeah. So I don't actually know the title of this episode.
This one should be It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To.
Okay. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
Because sometimes when I watch on the screeners doesn't tell you the name of the episode. It just gives you the weird episode 542 or like whatever this is supposed to be. So we start with the party, the aforementioned party, and we've got Tennie and Rob. It's 6 weeks out of prison, and we open with a fight scene. Now, I did watch it back in slow-mo and try to go back and forward to see exactly what happened. Now, Tennie did put her hands on Kate first.
Yes, she did. She mushed her in the face
with the hand,
yeah,
right?
Total
in the face.
mushed. Yes. So she put hands on Kate first.
She did. So I didn't like that because I wanted it to be all Kate's fault, but Tennie did in fact touch her first.
She lost total control, and sometimes I promote violence, sometimes I don't. In this case, I don't promote it because there was children there.
Yeah.
Rochelle and her 2 toddler titties were there.
Oh my
there was
God,
just a lot of young people there, and that just was not the place to fight.
I agree.
She just lost control so fast. It happened really quick.
I think it's because that woman just triggers the fuck out of her, and she's just she just can't. So we open with this fight scene. Now Kate ends up on her back.
Yeah.
And kicking. Now, what was it on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Was it Portia and Cynthia? Or one of them laid on the rack and was kicking.
On the boat. When they were on the boat, and I think it was Portia was trying to kick Cynthia. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God, I can't wait for Atlanta with Portia being back and that divorce and everything. It's gonna be
I
so
haven't
good.
watched Atlanta in years, but I'm here for this upcoming season.
You gotta watch it because we love anything Portia's on. We gotta love it.
Yeah.
And Phaedra is back.
Phaedra's back, and then we get to watch Kenya get fired, which I don't like.
I don't like it either, but she shouldn't have done that.
She should not have done that. It was very stupid.
Very stupid, Kenya. All right. So Tennie's mom is kind of trying to get in the middle and break it up. And production,
but not too much. She was still staying real safe.
She didn't want to get hurt or kicked.
She didn't want to get hurt because I mean, you've got poor Rob in the middle of it on the ground. It was a lot.
And he definitely doesn't want to get in trouble. He's only been out of prison 6 weeks.
And he's on parole, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, he's off papers. He's off papers.
He stayed in an extra month to not be on papers.
To get off papers. Yes.
Because remember, they were able to go to Orlando right away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where everybody goes. So Tennie's mom's trying to break it up. Rob is jumping in there as well. Production jumps into it's a total hot mess. There is so much you bitch, you hoe, you bitch, you hoe.
Yeah.
And then mom, Kate, walks off. Now, remember how we said, like, Kate looks like she's on her way to a junior league meeting. She looks so prim and proper.
But boy, that attitude's real hood.
Good grief. So Kate walks off. It's like, fuck you, Teenie. Well, first of all, it's not her name.
Yeah.
I love how she calls her Teenie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Teenie, you fucking bitch. So Teenie's upset and telling Rob, like, your mom is coming after me for what? Mm-hmm. For what? You sat there for 16 years and she never came to visit you until I was in the picture. So that other girl,
my thing.
That's crazy. That other girlfriend was like cutting mom in on the money. And then Tennie comes in and was like, no, we're not doing that. And then mom all of a sudden is now visiting.
So, which to me should not be something that Tennie is upset about. I think that's Rob should be upset about that. And she's kind of putting herself in the middle, and it really doesn't have anything to do with her. If he's not mad, she doesn't need to be. She can be upset about it, but she doesn't need to be explosive about it.
Well, I think she's just like, no, if you can't see this is wrong, I'm going to take up for you kind of thing. But yeah, you're right. He should be. But I think he's so like, oh my God, that is my mother, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, she's like, you sat there for 16 years. She never came to see you until I was there. And he's like, I already told you about that. Oh,
right.
So
this has come up before.
Yes. And also,
I think
he's like, don't talk about it on camera too.
Perhaps.
So support for today's episode comes from Honeylove. Honeylove has revolutionized the wireless bra game. Their bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for uncomfortable wires and unnecessary bulk. You deserve a bra that's lightweight and comfortable without sacrificing support. Embrace freedom, flexibility, and comfort with Honeylove's wire-free bras. They're so great, y'all. They're made with a fabric that's so soft you'll forget you're wearing it. And you guys know how I feel about a sleeping bra or a bra that you don't even feel. I can't handle anything binding me and making me feel uncomfortable. Ever since we stay at home all the time with COVID, I have really, really embraced my Honeylove bras because they are so comfortable. And for a limited time only, you can get Honeylove on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link. That's honeylove.com/pinkshade. Support our show and check them out at honeylove.com/pinkshade. You guys, that's the link you're going to use to get 20% off. So you guys, I've told you this a zillion times. So I'm home a lot. But when I do have to venture out in public, I really can't stand having to switch into like a bra that's like suitable for public. That is what is so great to me about Honeylove, because you can wear that bra at your house all day, be comfy. And then if you have to go somewhere, you do not look like you are wearing your sleeping bra. You look like, hey, I'm an adult and I put on a real bra like a real business lady that I am. So this is why I always recommend Honeylove. And they also have that back smoothing fabric. So if you got a little in the back, like a little something above the bra line, it doesn't spurt out. It smooths it all down. It is great. Highly recommend. So Honeylove is not just supporting women, it's empowering women. Treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/pinkshade. Use that exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/pinkshade. You'll find your perfect fit there. And after you purchase, they'll say, hey, where did you hear about Honeylove? Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with bras that empower your lifestyle of flexibility. That's Honeylove. In the elevator, Kate says that if Rob wasn't around, Tennie wouldn't be able to make it. And she's sick of getting her son to take care of Tennie and her kids, and she'll beat her ass again. Now, I've listed out the things that Kate called Tennie.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Money hungry bitch. Dusty ass bitch.
Yep.
Fat ass hoe.
Yep.
And the best one.
Because you can't be a fat ass bitch. You got to be a fat ass hoe.
Right. You got to switch it around.
You got to switch it up.
The last one that Dave was in the room when I was taking the notes for this and said, this is going to be his new insult to anybody. Fucking gremlin, groblin hoe. Gremlin, groblin hoe.
That was a good one, though. You don't hear that.
What's a groblin?
I think she said she looks like a gremlin. I think goblin is what she meant. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you just start like ranting, I mean, my words get confused just in a normal conversation. That's me upset trying to insult someone.
Just a gremlin, groblin
hoe.
Yeah, Dave's like, I'm taking that. Dave said, I'm taking that into my everyday life. That was good.
Tell
that
Dave,
was good.
he and I both.
Yeah, it's
because
funny.
That's my new thing. Yes.
Gremlin, Groblin, Hoe. And so then her sweet daughter, Cheyenne, who they mostly call Shy, comes in and was trying to console her. And remember, this girl is 13. Yes. And it really is sweet. She's like, Mama, it's okay. You have to calm down, Mama. Like, look at me. It's okay. It's really sweet. And I mean, the situation is nuts, but it's sweet.
Horrible.
And it is also tragic that her daughter's having to come in and like, it's okay,
Yeah, I mean, her kids just saw her beat up their step grandmother.
I don't know. They've never met her. I don't think they've never met Kate.
I think they have.
You think they have? I mean, it has been a long time.
They have. I think they have, especially since she said that, Kate didn't start going to go see Rob until she came along. She would go with them. Right. And she always drug those kids every single weekend to go and see Rob. So I think they've met before.
That's a great point. So, in the talking head together, Nehemiah and Cheyenne are sitting there, and Nehemiah goes, I've never seen my mom fight somebody like that. Yeah. And Shy says, my heart just dropped to my stomach and everything in my head just stopped. And I just wanted to help my mom. It's just like, are you getting paid extra for these kids to do talking heads? Because if not, I don't think they should be doing it.
I think they have to get paid, don't they?
Maybe. Because I know like on 90 Day, they don't pay the foreigners. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. On 90 Day, the foreigners don't get paid. Now, listen. Don't come at me, but I believe that's true. And I also had a bunkie reach out to me recently about 90 Days saying that she and her spouse did get married, and they obviously did not want to go on the show, and he was from another country, but he did work for 90 Day Fiance as a translator.
Okay.
And never got paid.
What?
Was supposed to get paid, but didn't get paid. Yeah.
Is that Matt Sharp too?
Allegedly.
Ooh,
I don't speak ill about Matt Sharp, my friend. And by the way, he's not in accounting. He doesn't know. He's just running the whole thing. Yeah, it is bad. But my understanding all these years is the foreigners don't get paid until they come to the States, and it's something about like, because you have to have a W-2 for taxes, and they get away with it by paying the American like. I'm going to give you $2,000 instead of $1,000 an episode. And then you're supposed to split it with a foreigner, but then like they don't or whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either.
Check came in my name.
I don't know. Why you think you get half?
I'm giving you a green card to be happy,
Also, so look at that Instagram following you're going to get. Yeah.
That's true too.
So as she's walking out, Tennie is saying to Shy and also to production, she's like, why did she even come here? If she had nothing positive to say, why would she come? Like, I looked cute. I got my makeup and my hair done. And now I will never be in the same setting with her ever again. She's bitter and she's fucking miserable, and she can shake up her son's life all she wants, but she needs to leave me the fuck alone.
Okay. That's understandable. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
But you did start it.
She does. And you know what? Here's the funny part about it. I don't think that she realizes that she started it. And I damn sure know she realizes that she put her hands on Kate first. Yeah. Hopefully now that she has seen this, she does realize she completely started all of this.
I think so. I think she just was so heated and saw
Yeah.
red. She doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside, Kate, the mom, is yelling at her son saying, that bitch don't want you to take care of your mama. Fuck that bitch. I'm done. You don't have to worry about me anymore. But it all comes down to money with Kate. Kate is mad that he is married to Tennie, working a job, not making as much money as he was, and, being like a family man and letting her stay at home with the kids, which I think sounds like to me like Tennie's like, by the way, I also make money from this show, but she can't say that,
Well, I mean, she does make money from this show, but she's not making like a year's worth of salary from this show.
No.
To me, I think she should probably go and get something part-time.
I
I
agree.
mean, the kids are in school, so if they're struggling like they say, then just go get you a little
yeah, I agree. To do when the kids are in school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
outside, wait a minute. Rob wouldn't be able to put cameras inside of her job. So
that's true. Well, she'd have to work from home. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Outside, Rob says, I don't understand why people can't be just happy for people. And it's like, there's a cord and I'm being pulled, both ways. Like, how can I fix it? So in the car headed home, she was like, this wasn't even, I broke 2 nails and he's like, my chain broke. And she's like, and I'm on my period. He's like,
So, we can tell, Tennie. We can tell. There's a little period violence that you had going on. Period violence.
So they get home and he's being very sweet and hugging the kids. And he's like, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. I'm sorry you had to see all that. Now, why don't y'all go up and get ready for bed? And from what we are seeing and from the way the kids also have behaved, they do all seem to have a very nice, loving relationship. They don't seem to be like afraid of him or annoyed by him. They seem to think he's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tennie and Rob talk and he's like, I can't believe that happened at the welcome home party. And he says, and he says, I'm kind of having a hard time looking at you right now because of like the way you acted towards my mom. And Tennie's like, your mom started it. And I just went back when she's, because she was starting to talk about how I took you away or whatever. And I just went back and said like, excuse me, because I was getting a drink. And he goes, but you stood up and turned your back on her. And then you turned back around and you got in her face. And she's of course like, I don't remember it that way.
No, not at all. The way she remembers it, Kate hit her in the back of the head with a bottle. That is how Tennie sees it. She just is blinded by it. You know what I mean?
Think so. Yeah. I think so. And she says, your mom always comes in with the worst energy. And look, if the two of you could fix your relationship, that's great. Like you should, that's your mom. I understand, but I'm not going to be in the room with her ever again. And he says, I guess that was the welcome home party I deserved.
Here's the thing about it. You really didn't deserve a welcome home party. Okay. You did not go on like a Mormon missionary or anything like that. You did not go to Africa to feed starving children.
Right.
You got out of prison for what? Armed robbery, burglary, something like that.
Yeah, you're right. You make this point every episode, and every episode I'm like a goldfish going around the bowl. Like I forgot that you said it last week. You're right.
I'm just saying, like, no, you do not deserve. It is nice that you were given that, but I mean, you just got home from prison.
You're right. You're right. Okay. So in his talking head, he says, everybody's quick to say that they're happy for me, that I'm out and everything like that. But then nobody shows up to the welcome home party. So how do I take that? I want to support my family, but I don't have the money. Like, I just don't have the money like he did. He says, my family texts him at night, like, don't forget about us. And of course, I'll never forget about them.
I just can't financially support you guys anymore. And I think that's what he needs to flat out tell them. Right. No, I'm not choosing to provide for my family instead of y'all. Like, I don't have money like that anymore.
I can't do both.
I can't do both, which his family should understand that. And I understand wanting to do for your mom. I really do understand that. But he can't take care of his mom, the brother, the sister, this, and that. He just can't do it.
I have a question. Do you think his brother was also in prison and they were running some sort of laundry business from prison?
You know what they never said?
Didn't he said he had a t-shirt business or he had a laundry business? I remember
something like that. Yeah. But I would feel like they would mention the fact that his brother was in prison if he were in prison, but you never know.
But how are they all running this super lucrative business while he's in prison and now that he's out, he's not? So that's the question is, what is the business that now that he's out of prison, he can't run that business anymore? It had to have been a prison
that's
business.
a good point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody go on the Reddit and dry skin, deeper wrinkles, crepiness. These are just a few of the visible signs of aging, something that today's sponsor, OneSkin, knows all about. Now, I'm not super concerned with aesthetics, only mildly concerned with aesthetics, but I do want to keep my skin healthy as I get older. That is why I love OneSkin's topical supplements. They actually help your skin feel and behave younger as you age. OneSkin was founded by an all-woman team of scientists. We love that. OneSkin is the first and only skin longevity company to target these zombie cells, which are a key hallmark of aging with their proprietary OS1 peptide. OS1 is scientifically proven to decrease lines and wrinkles, boost hydration, and help with the thinning skin that often comes with age. Don't just take my word for it. They've got over 4,000 5-star reviews. 4,001. Okay. 5-star reviews for their full line of face, body, sun, and travel size products. You guys, all of these products I've used, the body, the sun, the topical face, and the eye cream. I just used it about 10 minutes ago. I really, really like it. So for a limited time, you can try OneSkin for 15% off using code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. With OneSkin, your skin will stay healthy, strong, and hydrated at every age. And again, you guys, you go to oneskin.co and use code PINKSHADE for 15% off. And if they ask you, say, PINKSHADE sent me. So now Tennie is taking the kids to a water park, and they were like, okay, season pass is $250 for a family of 4, for the whole summer. She's like, I don't know if we should do it or not. Okay. And they were like, I guess we could come all the time. Yeah, that would be worth it. Cause probably it's like, probably
40, $50.
40, $50 for the 3 of you to go one time. So, it makes sense. So she says Rob did make a lot more money in prison than he's making now. And so we do actually have to think about something that costs $250. We have to think about it. And so I was just
Isn't that crazy that you make more money in prison than you do in the outside world?
Yeah. And she explains what his job is. She says his job is like a safety inspector for 18-wheelers. But in his Chiron, it says tarp and supply worker. So maybe he's the safety inspector for the tarp and supply trucks. Because that didn't make those two things. Yeah. So at the pool, Shy is talking to her mom, and she's like, now that Rob, dad's been home, whatever, a month and a half, 2 months, what are you thinking? And she goes, I really like it. I think Rob is funny. I love that dad's home. And she says, how'd you feel about that when I got into a fist fight with your step grandma? How was that for you, 13-year-old daughter? And she said, how'd you feel about that physical altercation? And she acts like it's the first time you saw me in a physical altercation, as if there will be many more to follow.
Or there have been many more that the kids just haven't seen.
Right.
The way she was throwing hands, this was not her first tussle.
It was crazy because she was like, you've never seen me in a physical altercation. How'd you feel about that? And she's like, well, it was really upsetting because I was like, I don't know about step grandma Kate, but she was like touching my mom. And I don't like when somebody's touching my mom. It's so upsetting. And she says, well, I really want to thank you for helping me through it. And because I guess that Shy has some anxiety, and usually her mom's trying to have to talk her down. And Tennie says that Shy is the one who talked her down from that anxiety attack. And she's really super grateful. She's had anxiety ever since Cheyenne's dad died when Cheyenne was only 1 month old. So we don't know who Nehemiah's dad is. Neither one of them are around. That's for damn sure.
Well, because, I peeped on their Instagram page, and you could see where they would like celebrate Cheyenne's dad's birthday. There's pictures like Cheyenne's grandmother from the father's side, but there's nothing about Nehemiah's dad.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they're 13 and 11. So a year and a half after Cheyenne's dad died, she got into some sort of relationship with whoever she had, Nehemiah. I don't know. She has somehow raised beautiful and respectful and smart, well-spoken, polite children, despite
I feel like her kids may be better than my kid.
Well, Wait till Cheyenne hits 16. Let's see what happens.
No, freshman year, it goes downhill for a few years. Then it kind of, slowly goes back up, and it's kind of wavy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Mm-hmm. So she says, so in the talking head, when Tennie is saying about, Cheyenne and really helped her and all this, she says, I'm so grateful, for my kids. And I'm also so grateful that Rob has been such a great dad and that they love him so much. Now, for some reason, Cheyenne talks to Nehemiah instead of Tennie. Tennie's like, I'm going to go over here to sit by the pool. You talk to your brother about the fight.
Right.
And so Nehemiah goes, yeah, grandma shouldn't do that.
He's so cute. And this whole conversation they had was so mature.
I know. It is so mature. They are so
really,
cute.
Really is. Yes. And both of them they were sitting there like little adults, talking about the situation and forgiveness and this and that. I'm like, God damn, these kids are more mature than I am.
They're so cute. Yeah. And Cheyenne she says, yeah, I don't really think about her as like a grandma anymore. Like I'm not going to think of her like that. And because that she did put her hands on mom, even though mom touched her first.
Yeah, her mom has this child convinced.
Because she didn't see it.
She didn't see it because she was over there eating all that food they had, because they had a lot of food
for 5 people.
No one showed up to the party.
Yeah. And he's so sweet. Nehemiah goes, yeah, I just don't think there was any need for violence. He's just so cute.
There was zero need for violence, but that's on your mom.
That's on your mom. So the talking head, the kids say they think Rob is a great dad. They're so happy that he's there, and they don't think they want any relationship with Grandma Kate. And so, okay, All right, let's go to our favorite horn dog. It's Bianca and Daniel. These people, especially Bianca, get dumber and dumber each week. And Daniel, who I really was rooting for, also has some dumb thoughts this week too.
You can only be around a dumb person for so long before you just start becoming dumb too, which in this instance, he's been around this dumbness for one day. It has already dumbed him down. Bianca's fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I agree. Yeah. So we open with her going, oh my God, you know how much I've done for you and you can't give me a cup of coffee? And that's when he's like, don't ever throw that in my face. She's like, okay, fine. Fight's over. So she says in her Valley Girl voice, she goes like, yeah, I feel like he owes me something. Like he hasn't been able to provide me anything. And he goes, it's my first day out of prison. Give me a chance. Like I've not even been out 24 hours. Come on now.
Why do these people do that?
I mean, give him like a couple of months to like get on his feet. And,
shit. Like for all we know, we don't think he's taking a shower yet because y'all went straight to the bedroom.
That's right.
Can he have a free roll shower first before you start complaining about him not giving you anything?
Jeez. It's nuts. So Danielle's looking at what to wear, and he's like, all I have are like these clothes you got me, and they're all like gray. And she was like, I don't know, babe, it's better than like your prison orange. Like it's fine. He goes, we got to get ready to go. And she's in there she's doing like a Zeruiah job on that makeup. It's like,
but she walks out and it looks like she has on no makeup.
I think she just really cakes on that foundation, like hardcore.
I don't know, but someone wrote me that said, why is this bitch going to the probation officer looking like Beetlejuice? She got on those fucking stripe pants. And
she did. Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Bless. So they arrive at the PO office and, she tries to go in with them. And they're like, no, Beetlejuice, go back to the car.
Right.
And we don't want nobody say your name 3 times.
We heard someone already say it twice and we don't want to be here for the third.
So outside she's doing, the 2 of them are together doing like a stand-up talking head. And she goes, I would be devastated. Like, I don't even know what I would have to do if we went to the halfway house. Cause like, it's really bad there. And like, people just like are terrible. And he goes, yeah, people do a lot of drugs in those places. You can get whatever you want. I was like, wow.
We know that from Harry, from Indy and Harry.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a party up there.
I mean, I want to go to Harry's rehab. Halfway house on the weekends. I'm like, this is where it's at. Like, there's weed, there's Coke, there's Chick-fil-A, there's Popeyes. It's a party for everyone.
There's people throwing chicken sandwiches right over the wall. Yeah.
Yes. It's all popping.
So he's in there for about an hour and a half, and then he walks out with the PO, and she's like, "Oh my god!" So she gets out of the car. I'm so nervous. So she gets out of the car, and the PO was talking to her like, "Have you ever been arrested?" She's like, "No, sir, I have never been arrested for any crime. Someone perpetrated a crime on me, but that's another story." And
and I also like to collect wayward men who are in prison for DUIs and bring them home with me and try to have them impregnate me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
What's
what
wrong
I
with that?
do.
Is that a problem?
Yeah. Nope.
So they talk about, living with her, and that he says, probably in a month we'll send an officer over there to conduct a home investigation. But it's temporarily approved that he'll be there, and as long as the house is okay. So they're happy, they kiss in the car. He goes, yeah, it's going to be fine. Like, I got to just take the classes that they say, and I got to do a UA, urine analysis, once a month, nothing.
That's really nothing at all.
But I wonder if it's the kind where they can call you anytime. You don't know when.
Okay,
So probably,
yeah.
that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
And there's a number I have to check in with, and he goes, so I gotta work on my game plan here. And she goes, plan B. And he goes, yeah, like we gotta go stock up on some plan B. And she says, you blanked in me twice last night. And then her talking head, she goes, yeah, he probably didn't mean to, because he hadn't had sex in 5 years. So I was like, oops.
Mary Payne,
These
between this
people.
episode of Life After Lockup and Love is Blind, I have never heard the words come, came, and sperm so much in my entire life.
It's insane.
It's a lot.
So she goes, I don't really think I want to take plan B, like we said. He goes, well, that's what we planned on, babe, that we're going to have unprotected sex and then take plan B if you get pregnant.
Okay, wait.
They're going to, okay. So every time they have sex unprotected, the next day she's going to take plan B forever and ever.
That is not what plan B is for.
That, first of all, makes no sense.
It's going to be expensive. And I don't think that's good for your fucking body. Like, no. But you know what? There is this female rapper who does the same thing.
Takes plan B like twice a week?
Like every time the guy nuts in her. Because I'm going to change it up. I'm not going to say come.
Okay. All right.
Change it up a little bit. You're welcome. Yeah, she takes plan B. I'm like, that cannot be good for your, because you're forcing your body to do something that it's not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, fucking get on birth control.
It's just pretty easy. It's pretty easy. There's so many ways you could do birth control. So many ways.
This is for, oops, this was an accident.
Yes.
Let me take a plan B.
And you don't wait to find out if you're pregnant and then take plan B. That's not how plan B works. That's why I was upset with the dumbness of this. This was dumb. This was dumb.
Real dumb. Yeah.
So he goes, listen, it's not a great time, for us to try to have a baby, because I owe money for my crimes, and I have to pay court fees and for my kid. Keisha, when he
I don't think we knew about the kid. I said Mary Payne's gonna have to flip through the Rolodex to see if we heard about this, because I can't remember.
I said, a kid? What?
And he was married.
Been dying to use that record scratch, Keisha.
That was a perfect time.
Thank you. And he was married, and he says he really hasn't seen his son or been a part of his life at all. Now, so let's go back. Daniel is 31.
Yes.
Okay. 31 minus 13.
Here you go.
Okay. That would be 8, 9, 10, 18. So he was 18 when he was married and had a kid. Young. 18 when he was married and had a kid. Oh, we've seen younger. I mean, but
true.
18 is right there at the cusp of how old you should be to be married and have a kid legally in most states. And so he says he has a 13-year-old son, and he'd like to be able to pay some support. And he doesn't think that his ex-wife will keep him from his kid, but he has reached out and she hasn't responded. So actually she is trying to keep you from your kid.
Yeah. She's doing a pretty good job of it so far. Like, but
his kid's 13. He hasn't been a part of his life at all, because he's been in and out of jail and everything since he was 18 years old. I mean, it's really sad.
So this is what I don't get with these guys. They will not be a part of their kids' lives for 25 years. And they think, oh, I'm out of prison. Instantly, me and my child are going to have a relationship. No.
They don't know you.
They don't know who the fuck you are. Period.
And you don't know them either, Yeah,
that kid's probably like, what's your name? Dave? Devontae? Yeah. What is it? Daniel? Yeah. That kid knows nothing about you. God knows what the mom had said. Hopefully she was just like, look, your dad's not around, blah, 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 blah. But they instantly think they're going to have a connection with these kids. No.
And it's like, it's my right. It's my right. You haven't earned that right. You haven't. It's a child. You haven't earned your right.
You sure haven't.
No. So he's trying to tell her that it's very irresponsible to not use plan B. They need to use plan B so they don't get pregnant. And literally they just decided we don't use protection, we use plan B, which is stupid. So she goes, well, yeah, like I don't want to like not do it because I have baby fever. And like, you're old and I don't want you to be like a 45-year-old dad. He's like, I'm 31. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's probably bad at math like we are and didn't add it up right and, subtract it right and all that stuff like that. She just wants to be pregnant. This is, she wants to be pregnant for the guy that she just said less than 24 hours ago has never provided her with anything, wouldn't even give her a cup of coffee.
That's right. That's the guy. That's
now
her
she
guy.
wants to have a baby. Yeah, that's her baby daddy right there.
That's her man.
Who just had to get permission to live with her.
Right. And she goes, yeah, and I'm going to always bring up the baby shit. Like, remember, I lost that baby. So, yeah, it's something I really want. And so I really don't want to take plan B. I have baby fever. So, like, I'm kind of hoping it happens.
Oh, my God. So, in this case, I'm going to say that Daniel has been in prison. He probably really doesn't know what the fuck plan B is.
Okay, I think that's a great point.
I don't think he completely knows what that means. However, she does.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And she's just tricking this boy up.
She's very young. She can go on birth control pills. She can get that little implant in her arm. There's lots of things she can do here.
An IUD. I think condoms, they still, I think, have the sponges like that you can use and just... There's oh my God, I'm so glad I'm 45 and have had a hysterectomy and don't have to worry about this shit anymore. Jeez.
So when she goes, yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of hoping it happens. And he was like, it's very irresponsible. And she's like, responsibility? What? Okay. Now let's go on to Zeruiah and Troy. And he, remember, has left the house in a huff with his pink do-rag on. And he's called his buddy. And he tells us while he's waiting on his buddy that he is now what he was trying to say is overly communicative, but what he said was overly communicated, like instead of communicative, he says like communicated. I'm overly communicated and she should be overly communicated with me. But being behind
and
2
he's
months,
right.
And he's right. And he says being behind 2 months on rent is not communicating. That's something 100% I should have been told. And she's driving around and in her talking head, she says, we've had some struggles and about 6 months ago or whatever, I did cheat on him. And so now my main concern is that he's going to cheat on me. Okay.
Now,
well, that's
And also she's so worried about where he is, what he could be doing, that she washed off that mask, put on a full face of makeup, did her hair, got dressed, put her sunglasses on her head, and then decided to, maybe I should go look for this motherfucker walking around with this popping do-rag on. Maybe.
By the way, he's got his phone because he's calling his friend, so you could just
that's true.
Boop, track him. So his buddy named Trey, not to be confused with Troy, his buddy's name is Trey, and he comes to see him. And they've known each other since they were kids. So just right there on the park bench, they light up a joint and pass it around while they talk.
That's the kind of life I'm trying to live. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to move.
I'm going to move up north.
You got to move out of Texas. So they're talking, and the talking head Troy tells us he never had to worry about money or food or anything like that when he was little. He always had it, but when he got to be a teenager, he wanted more, and he took the elevator instead of the stairs to the top. If he needed $900, he would call that guy or call this guy, and getting $900 would just like come to him like that. It was easy because he was selling drugs. So he tells Trey, he's like, she told me that we're 2 months behind on this rent, and she should have told me. And, my mind just goes to the worst place. Like, I can get that money real quick by robbing and stealing and scamming. It would be so easy. And Trey's like, you don't need to do that. Like, you don't want to backslide. Like, you've come so far. And Trey looks like he's lived a life, I got to say.
But you know what? He had cute eyes. I don't know what it was about him. Maybe did he have good lashes or something like that? But he had cute eyes.
He seems sweet. Now he did have on
He did.
He did have on one AirPod half the time. I was like, you are talking to production. Can you take your AirPod out?
Oh yeah. I didn't even notice.
He was doing his talking head. I was like, you expecting a call? You gonna double tap? So she finds him and she's like, you can't just walk off like that. You can't leave. You have responsibilities. You have a kid. You have a home. You have a nonprofit. And most of all, you have a wife.
Because that's the most important thing of all. Fuck them kids. Fuck that nonprofit. It is all about me, Zeruiah.
So he goes, I walked around. I calmed down. And I talked to Trey. Because she's like, who'd you call? He says, I called Trey. What if he would have said, what's her name? Eula. Yeah. What if
she would have burnt that fuck? I think fire would have literally have come out of her mouth this time. We've seen the fucking possession. I think straight up fire would come out if he would have said that.
I called Yana. She always is there for me. Yep. So he says he called Trey and he talked to Trey and he calmed him down. And so now we see them in a talking head together and he says, are you ready to fix your energy?
Oh boy.
And she apologizes for putting them in that situation money-wise and apologizes for not telling him. And he says, okay, well, we're past it now, but somehow, some way, we got to figure out a way to pay our rent. And then outside the house, they're talking and he pulls her inside to bone. And that's that. Okay.
I mean, that fixes everything.
Well, maybe. Not for me.
Good dicking. Right. If not for me either, I'll be like, thank you. But back to what we were previously talking about before we had this break.
We need $900. So,
right.
All right. Let's go to Melissa and Louie. Now, Melissa,
why are they back?
Because it's Life After Lockup. So we have to see their story after the Love After Lockup and they skipped a season and now they're back.
Okay. So there was other people they could have chosen, but
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he's so cute. So
I love him. She and I love fucking Donna. I do.
I love Donna too. I do too.
So I think that Tennie should probably have watched the relationship between Donna and Melissa because Donna's always talking shit. She doesn't want Melissa around, but Melissa has never mushed Donna in the face.
No, she never started anything. She never got in her face like, what is your problem?
Nothing like that.
So, all right. So he's 18 months out of prison. So these two go out to the beach. They're going to do a cold plunge. He said always when he was in prison, he dreamed of doing a polar bear plunge. Do you know that my husband has done this in Alaska?
Why?
Stripped down to his skivvies and jumped into the Arctic Ocean.
And how did he say he felt when he came out other than cold?
Cold, like numb. Yeah. Yeah. And it was way back in the day. It was like before we were even married. So there's only like one photo of it. It's not like on a phone or anything that you can get. Right. So he's got it in his office like framed. I'm like, one day that'll fade and we won't remember that. But
so he never did it again?
Okay. At our pool at the end of the season, they always do a come and jump in the pool one last time when it's cold. Okay. And it's like if you pay $20 to do it, then that goes to the swim team or whatever. And he's done that a couple of times. But I mean, the pool is disgusting because they're about to close it and drain it for the season. So it's like,
well, guys don't care about shit like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, he did it. I can't remember if Anna and John both did it with him. I definitely think John did it with him because John was on the swim team. Can't remember if Anna did it, but I think she did. I think he did it with the kids, and I think Mary's kids came and did it. Mary and I were like, we'll be over here at the champagne bar. Let us know how that goes because we'll just be over here having the free champagne that came with your $25 ticket.
That's funny.
Okay, 18 months out of prison, they're going to do a polar plunge. And she mentions wanting a wedding ring and wanting to be married 100 times. And we get it, girl. We get it. I understand this is your storyline, but enough. Okay.
Now, I have a question.
Okay.
Did it look like Melissa got some work done on her booty? That ass was assing.
Oh, she's always had a real killer bod, I thought.
Yeah, but that butt looked a lot bigger.
It did? No, I didn't notice it.
It looked BBL-ish.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, she's definitely gotten her nose done and gotten something going on with her lips.
Yeah, but that ass, I was like, damn, Melissa.
Oh, okay. She always to me seems like, but yeah, she's a postal worker. She walks a lot. So she just does some squats while she's walking.
I agree, but it looked It looked like she got a BBL.
Okay, well, I'm going to need to Go back and watch
You
it on a
see it
big
in that
screen.
bathing suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in. I'll screenshot it. I'll zoom in.
You won't have to zoom in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's that big. No zooming necessary.
Okay. Well, good for her. So in her talking head, she has all this baggage from her past relationships, and she's been disappointed in guys so many times. She's been locked out of a house that she thought she owned.
Okay, girl. But look, that's horrible. But what the fuck did you do to make this man lock you out of for a man to lock a woman out of the house, that's pretty big.
Well, maybe she was like, this is my house. He's like, it's my house now. I'm the captain now. Get out. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, perhaps. Okay, maybe.
She has a fear of losing any control and getting too wrapped up in a relationship. And so probably dating a prisoner that was your high school crush isn't the best idea, but whatever. They seem to be fine. So
yeah,
he tells her, he's like, we'll get engaged when the time is right. And maybe I'm working on something you don't need to know. She's like, well, I need to know. He goes, no, you don't get to know everything. And she goes, I just need a schedule. He goes, everything doesn't have to be, you're out this, you do that, you get a job. It doesn't have to be like that. And she goes, but I like a schedule. He's like, well, you're just not. And by the way, I feel that because when David and I got engaged, I wanted to be very in control of it. I was like, I don't want to be surprised. I don't like surprises. I like to tell you what I want. Yeah.
So she was going on and on about it so much. I had to ask James, I said, was I like that when it was like he's like, no, you really weren't like that at all. You were never like, we got to get engaged. We got to get engaged. And I was like, are you sure? Because he goes, you weren't. I knew when we were going to get engaged because he was like, what kind of ring do you want?
Yes.
So I just picked out 3 rings that I really, really liked. I said, but you choose the one that you like.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know when he was going to do it, how he was going to do it, anything like that. So,
yeah.
But I'm also the same woman. I've let James pick out every single vehicle that I've had since we've been together.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
that's a little different, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you don't have, you're
saying.
not a control freak like Melissa. So she doesn't want to lose control and she doesn't want to not be in charge of this thing. So she's like, I've told you what I want. I just want a 2-carat diamond. He goes, oh, just a 2-carat diamond.
Just a 2-carat diamond.
Yeah. And
really?
She says, it's only going to be 1 diamond. Simple. And he was like, okay, real simple. Okay. So
it's still 2 carats.
Yeah. You better be looking at some lab grown diamonds.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or, on Plathville, they went to a store somewhere in Florida and they were like, oh, here's a 2-carat diamond lab dusted diamond. So I think it's basically a cubic zirconia with some diamond sprinkles on it. And they were like, and it's a giant ring for like $800. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what that store was. I've never heard of. It was like
diamond. How did the ring look?
Well, just on TV, it looked great. But in person, you could be like, what is that cubic zirconia with sprinkles on top? All right. So he says, in his talking head, he's like, I've always known I wanted to marry her. And I've never, ever had money. Anytime I ever had money or made money, I spent it on drugs. Never had enough money, but I've been saving for a year and a half for a ring. But I'm not going to tell her that. Just really sweet.
God, no. Because she'd probably go to the bank and take all the money out and go buy her own fucking ring.
I just think it's sweet that he's actually trying to like surprise her and do something nice for her. And so he's been working at the pizza place and probably putting like a couple $100 out of each paycheck. It's really sweet. Mm-hmm. So he's at work and his mom, Donna calls and he's like, hey mom, it's a good time you're calling because I want to talk to you about something. It's not like because like production didn't tell us you were calling at all. I was taking a break from work or anything.
Right.
And he says, yeah, I got to tell you, like, I'm thinking about getting engaged. And she's like, have you even talked to Melissa? What does she think? He's like, oh my God, she's nagging me. She's nagging me about it. And she goes, how could you even afford a ring? And he goes, I can spend around $10,000 to $12,000.
That's a lot.
She wants 2 carats. And she's not on board with this at all. And she's like, 2 carats? Excuse me. You got that kind of money? Must be nice. Right? Louie. Yeah.
Because you're not taking care of me.
Yeah.
Kate.
And then she also said, from one of her 3 marriages, she's got a ring. She's allowed to give you that ring.
3 marriages.
By the way, he should have taken that ring, at least turn it in, and you could get some credit for the diamond you're going to buy.
Yep.
And he's like, no, mom, I really want to do this. And they're talking head together. And all of a sudden they're together, even though she's in Georgia and he's in Jersey, they're together. And she's like, I don't know enough about her for you to marry her. And he's like, okay. And then
you've known her for at least a year and a half, Donna.
Yes, at least. And he goes, and then she says to him, I guess he'll just have to learn about the hard way about marriage. And he was like, that just really sounds uplifting. Thanks, Mom. Thanks a lot.
For Donna, that was uplifting.
It's the best she could do.
That's all she could do.
That's all she could do. All right. Britney and Kerok. Now,
oh boy,
please explain this to me.
Okay.
We are supposed to believe that these two left the house in their pajamas to get an oil change because they're leaving the next day.
Yep.
Okay. These two are at the auto place. Shout out to Buds with 2 Ds, Budds.
That's right.
Because they showed it a million times.
Yes.
They're talking about how sick and grimy the system is and how just disgusting, how Texas won't let them move there. And they can't believe they're going to be put in a government motel. So in the 30 minutes it took for an oil change, they talked to the PO, got the news that they can't move to Texas, told the guy on the phone that they had already given up their lease. The PO says, it's fine. We'll give you a government motel. They move all their stuff into the government motel and then go back home all while in their pajamas from that morning.
I mean, it's the power of the PJs. You know what I mean? You can get a lot done when you're in your PJs, you know, just, it's clear that it was cold where they are. Yeah. But they still chose to wear pajamas outside.
It is crazy. So first of all, they already knew this stuff about the government motel. So I literally think they had a producer on the phone telling them what the PO had said. And that's why they disguised the voice. Okay. And they were like, this is the PO telling them, because there's no way within 8 minutes the PO finds out they got the motel. In the government, what are you telling me it would take weeks?
Months
for them to work that out.
I'd say at least a month. Yeah.
And also, why is the government of Virginia in charge of finding them a place to live when they gave up their lease before they knew where they were supposed to go? That's not the state of Virginia's fault.
Well, I've never even heard of anything like that before.
Me either.
Is this just for like, is this just for like felons or just like someone hard on? They didn't explain this at all.
And it was also, now we're in the hotel. We're like, all in one afternoon, you found this all out? I mean, what are we, what?
The funniest part was that, Kerok's on the phone with the leasing agent, trying to figure out, can we get our money back? Like, this is really important shit. And Brittany's over there just putting on full face makeup, brushing out her edges, doing her baby hairs. And I'm like, if that is not me in life right there, something important is going on. And I'm like, how do I look? How do I look? How do I look? But yeah, she's putting on the full face of makeup, and he's over there trying to figure out if they can get their money back. And the Texas property manager, who they said they loved and was so like wonderful and welcoming to them, says they're like, we're not going to be able to move there right now. We don't even know when it's going to be. And the property manager says, nope, you cannot get your deposit back and your first month rent. It's a no. Hi, Ginger. I'm sorry, Ginger. Well, also now that I'm thinking about it, and correct me if I'm wrong. When they go back to the house, and even when they're outside, they're all leaving the house. Don't they have on the same pajamas?
Nope. New day, new pajamas. This message is sponsored by Greenlight. A new school year is starting, y'all. And personally, I cannot believe that I no longer have a kid in elementary, middle, or high school. It breaks my heart, you guys. This is my first year. I'm not doing carpool and whatnot. But if you're a parent, you want to make sure this new school year has an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills and continue building that independence. And for that, I recommend Greenlight. You guys, I told you my kids used Greenlight cards when they were little, recommended by producer Ingrid, and it was a life changer. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely, and parents can keep an eye on the kids' new money habits. You can also help kids get into their fall routine more easily than ever with the chores feature that lets you assign chores and automate allowance. That's rewarding kids for getting things done around the house. And this was huge for us. If you want even more out of Greenlight, you could upgrade to Greenlight's Infinity plan. Greenlight Infinity includes the same access to financial literacy education that makes Greenlight a valuable resource for millions of parents and kids, plus built-in safety to give you peace of mind. With Greenlight Infinity, the teens can check in without needing to actually check in, thanks to that family location sharing. Oh, we all need that. They can also call for help when they need it with SOS alerts that connect them to family members, 911, or both. There's even a feature that detects car crashes and will connect your young drivers to 911 dispatch and alert emergency contacts if needed. You guys, that is so valuable in today's world with our teenagers. I know we're also worried all the time. No matter which features make the most sense for your household, Greenlight is the easy, convenient way for parents to raise financially smart kids and for families to navigate life together. Sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/pinkshade. That's greenlight.com/pinkshade to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/pinkshade. Thank you.
Okay.
So when they're in the hotel, which they've already just moved their stuff in, already just got all their stuff just on the bed and everything. She's in white pajamas with like some sort of writing. And then the next day she is in like a leopard print.
So clearly they've packed up all their clothes and just left pajamas out?
Yeah. Because why not?
Okay.
So Kerok says, my mom, she runs real hot and cold. And right now she's running hot because we're packing and we're leaving and we gotta leave tomorrow. And she's so sweet, but she has an edge to her. And he says to Britney, like, hey, if she hits me, you gonna take up for me? And she says, nope. So
no.
Next day. Now it seems to me it's the butt crack of dawn or it's at night. One of the two. Because it's dark.
I think we start off early in the morning and then we end late at night.
Okay. So, when we first come on the screen, it says 6 hours until the lease expires. Okay. So maybe it was noon and they left at 6. So they're finishing packing up and they're in new pajamas. And I mean, Kerok's fully in like a robe. And they have not told Tammy, his mother, and his brother Desmond that they're going to Texas. Now, again, if you believe this is true, this is crazy.
And Desmond, we were trying to figure out which brother was going. And Desmond is the one who was having all the issues last season.
The one that would just disappear. It was clearly on something.
They cannot leave him in Virginia alone. He will not do well. He has to go along.
So they're finishing packing their new pajamas. They haven't told him. So Desmond comes in the room and Kerok goes, look, I got to tell mom this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you first. We can't go to Texas. And he's like, huh? He goes, the PO in Texas won't allow us to come there. And so we have to wait and get approval and we can keep applying. But I mean, I bet once you apply, you have to wait 3 months and apply again. I bet you can't just apply every single week. And so he goes like, so we got to figure something out. So Desmond's like, when mom finds out, she's going to flip the fuck out. Like, good luck.
Ooh, and she's already pissy. You know how you're like, when you're moving, you're just automatically, you've been sweaty, you're tired, you probably haven't been sleeping well. Ooh, I wouldn't want to have to talk to my mom about something serious if she's been doing all that shit because I'm gonna get cussed out.
So they're in the driveway, and Tammy's like, "Let's go, we're gonna go." Woo! Who's gonna drive?
They're literally
they have like a moving
going to Texas right now. All they have to do is physically get in their vehicles, and they're heading to Texas.
Yeah, and you see mom going, "I've never driven that far before. Like I'm excited about it." And they're in the driveway talking, and Britney goes, "You gotta tell her." Because we are not getting in our car to follow them.
Or let her figure it out when they go in what direction and we swerve off to the left.
We're going to the government motel.
Yeah.
So they're talking and Kerok goes, so we're not going to be able to come to Texas. And she's like, what? And he goes, yeah, so y'all just go ahead and we'll just meet you there in a month or a year, unclear. And y'all just go ahead. And they argue and Kerok says, in the talking head, he says, it's my fault. I jumped ahead without getting it approved. Now, the only thing I can see around this, Keisha, is that if Kerok and Britney were relying on the place to live is with his mom, and his mom has decided to move to Texas, and he calls his PO and is like, we have nowhere to live. And they say, okay, we'll put you in a government motel until you get, that's the only way.
That's the only way. Because I just don't understand the whole, how that came about. But yeah, that makes sense. Because you remember that was the mom's place.
That's right. It was.
That was her place. And that first Britney moved in. And then when Kerok got out, he moved in as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So mom is like, this is a family thing. We're supposed to be all doing this together. Yeah. Like, why am I going to Texas if you're not going?
Right.
And then they drive off like, see ya. And the talking head, Britney says,
what did she say? She didn't say bye. She goes, I'm done with y'all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And Britney says, if we don't get approved, I'm going to end up having a manic episode because motels give me the creeps. It reminds me of when I was homeless. It reminds me of being in prison. Okay. Well, you guys should have figured all this out before you agreed to move and hadn't gotten approval yet.
I mean, we know it gets approved because they are so in Houston right now.
They are? Are they?
Oh, they've been here for a minute.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know.
Okay, I told you.
Maybe you probably did, Keisha. Got so much useless information in my brain.
She does not listen to me. She is worse than my husband.
Oh. All right, we're going to end it with Justine and Michael and
oh my God.
16 months out of prison. Okay. So they sit and they talk about the possibility of the vasectomy and getting the tubes tied. And he says, I don't like playing God with the vasectomy. I don't like playing God. What if I'm supposed to have a kid at 75? That's God's will. And she goes, who are you having a baby with at 75?
He didn't do him any favors when he said that. Like, she's like, who are you going to be having these kids with? Because
we've already got 8 or 9 or 10. I'm not even sure. I don't even know. And he goes,
they have a roster to keep track of the children.
And he goes, what if I get the vasectomy and there's an accident and then my shit doesn't work? And she goes, that doesn't happen. He goes, you don't know how many vasectomies have you had? She was like, how many C-sections have you had? Like, what?
Right.
And he says, he goes, look, it makes more sense for you to do it. You're already going to be cut open and they can just tie your tubes. Now that is true.
That is very true. It made perfect sense to me. But I think that, and I think this is what she's going to do. And she knows she's going to do it because she literally cannot get pregnant anymore, point blank. If they break up, she cannot have kids. So that makes perfect sense. She knows she's going to do that. But she's also trying to be controlling of Mike.
Yeah.
To make sure he can't have any other children. Meaning if they broke up or something happened to her, she's kind of trying to control like, no more kids for you, period, point blank.
Yeah.
So, because she knows
true.
Mike, I don't know if Mike, if the most can, never mind.
Okay. You could get it out, whatever it was. Couldn't get it out.
Well, I mean, faithful. I mean.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So, okay. And then when he was like, you could get an IUD, she's like, what? And he goes, I'm not doing it. That's it. Point blank, end of story. I'm not doing it. And she was like, okay, great. That's really great. And he goes, okay, I'm just a fucking terrible person. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And then she goes, how many kids do you have? How many more kids do you need? Your dick has already had a good time. We don't need any more. We don't need any more. And he really doesn't understand because she keeps going like, it's not like they're cutting your balls off. He's like, that's what it feels like. I mean, this is just like such a typical man conversation.
A typical man. I think they all think that way. They all feel that way. But again, it doesn't make sense for him to have to do that if she's going to get, her tubes tied anyway.
I agree. Do you remember if you ever watched Real Housewives of OC a long time ago? There was this girl in there, Lydia, and she looked like a little mouse and she had giant teeth.
I didn't watch. I think I was done with OC by that time.
Well, she had a husband and she had a goodbye party for his balls because he was getting a vasectomy. And literally everything in the whole party was balls themed. They were like,
that's funny.
Does he know he's not getting his balls chopped off? Like, does he know? Or as she told him he's getting his balls chopped off and he said, okay. Like, it's great. It was crazy. It was a whole,
she had a lot of control over that man right there. If he was willing to get his ball, or he just really didn't ever want to have children again.
He just was like, it's fine.
Like, take it off.
Take off the balls. I don't care. And so, in the talking head, they're together and he says, I could be the first person ever in the history to have a vasectomy complication. And then my shit doesn't work. And she goes, this is ridiculous. Like, if your life was on the line, I would do anything, no discussion. Take off my leg, take off my arm, take off anything. I don't care. I just need you here. Because, they have really scared her about this C-section, but adding the tube tying into that C-section is not going to be the life or death part of it. If it was, the doctor would elect to not tie the tubes. The doctor would be like, we're closing you up and we're done. We're not going to do an extra procedure.
I think the doctor is already planning to tie her tubes because the doctor's like, you do not need any more kids, which I am pretty sure they told her that after she had this last baby.
I know. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous for you to have any more kids.
And then not just dangerous, look how quickly it happened.
Right.
That baby's not even a year old.
No, the baby's 6 months old. 6
I
months
think
old.
I want to
And
say
she's
she just
3
had
months
her first
pregnant.
birthday.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So, in the talking head, he says, look, she's not being team me, so I'm not gonna be team her. I'm team my balls.
What
Okay,
happened to
Mike.
team us?
What I mean, my God.
I'm team us.
He needs to think this through. Okay. Because it's gonna have to be a storyline that he gets a vasectomy. It's gonna have to be.
You think so?
Yeah, and he's gonna be a big, big baby about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Their whole storyline cannot be about birth control. Like we've already got Bianca and Daniel with the birth control. Do we really need Mike and Justine with the birth control as well? Is that what this season's going to be about?
Mike and Justine don't know about that option. They just take plan B every time you have sex. That's what you should do. That's the plan. That's the Bianca and Daniel plan. And they just don't know that that's an option.
Yeah, because they never made mention of it.
And they
don't know about it.
Also can't afford it. All right.
No.
Now, the next morning, we're seeing the chaos in the kitchen, and they've got the 5 kids that live there are Melody, 17, Michael, 14, Santana, 14. He's the son that's diagnosed with autism. Bentley is 11, and then the baby, Maddie, is 6 months old. Now, I have a question. Why did that baby have on a bonnet?
Well, start him off early.
Okay, now tell me, you explain this to me. Because to me, the baby didn't have enough hair that it has a hairdo that it needs to be protected.
Well, no, she's trying to protect her hair from falling out. You know how babies rub sometimes and they go bald for a little while in the back? Yeah. I think she's just trying to protect her hair.
Well, because babies have to sleep on their back, and that's another reason they rub their head like that. Yeah,
so she's got on a silk bonnet that kind of is better than sleeping just on like a regular pillow.
All right. Does the baby need to get used to that, though? Is the baby going to have a hairdo that needs protecting?
No, the bonnet's not to protect the hairdo. It's to protect your hair.
I thought it was protect the hairdo.
No. It's to protect your hair.
From what? From coming out on the pillow?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need a bonnet?
I mean, there's white people who use bonnets. Okay. Have you not seen Britney with the bonnet on a time or two?
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So start early, get her used to it. Because
I got to tell you, that baby in that bonnet was the cutest damn thing I've ever seen.
You know, a lot of people do it because the fact that they found one in her size.
They sell one. They sell them. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It was cute. It was cute. So they both have on their bonnets. And so the kids are all there. Everybody's like, get in the kitchen, whatever, making their lunches. And it's like, don't take my fork out of this house. And she was like, well, that's why we have 1 million people in this house and 4 spoons.
That was so relatable.
So relatable. I was like, why did we used to have 12 of everything. And now we have like 8 spoons. Where are the spoons?
It's the same thing in our house. And then someone, I won't mention their name, they'll clean up all the shit out of their room. And then magically appears all the spoons. It's like, well, damn. And then now, mind you, sometimes when Mila's throwing away her plate, she will throw away the fucking spoon too.
I know. Well, she's 3. Yeah.
She's 4. She'll be 5 this month.
Oh, it's her birthday. October what?
30th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not a Libra.
She was so close. So close.
Not a Libra.
Nope. Mm-mm.
All right. So Michael goes to work. He tells us he works for a moving company as a manager. Sure, Jan. And it is
why can he not be a manager, Mary Payne? Why can he not be a manager? They looked at his resume and saw that he has a blooming rap career and said, you know what? We want this guy to manage our place. He's gonna bring in customers.
He did manage his multi-million-dollar drug business.
He did. Mm-hmm.
So he works for a moving company as a manager. And he says it's discouraging when fellow rappers look down on you for having a job. But the only way he was allowed to move to Vegas, if he was on papers, got a W-2, had a real job. They weren't going to let him move to Vegas and be a rapper, especially because did his manager get arrested or something? Somebody shot somebody in their backyard. I can't remember what that's.
While it's doing a live.
Yeah.
And plus, you need a job because you've got all these children.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about that.
Yeah. He just acted like that was no big deal.
Yeah. Don't worry about all the kids. So remember he sells those tennis shoes. And so he says the fellow rappers look down on you for having a job. But, while I'm also trying to pursue my rap career, but I had to get this real job. And it's depressing. I was really depressed when I saw my first paycheck because I was like, I could make that in 10 minutes. Well, okay.
Yeah. Well, you also can spend time in prison for those 10 minutes, but Never mind that.
So then we see it's later that afternoon or whatever, and Justine's is like out doing errands with the baby in the car, and Santana calls her screaming like, Mom, come home, come home. So she takes it off a speaker immediately, which I liked because she's not letting like the production hear or whatever. And so we're reminded that Santana has autism. Yes, he's high functioning autism, and one of his main issues that he has a hard time communicating his emotions. So it's really hard sometimes to get him to tell you exactly what the problem is.
Yes.
So she calls Mike and says, you got to meet me at home. Something's going on like with these kids. And so.
Okay. So wait.
Yeah.
There were so many things that Justine did in this scene that really bothered me.
Okay. Go ahead.
First of all, these kids probably have not been getting along for a minute. This is not the first fight.
Yeah.
Why did you not go run the errands with little baby Manhattan during the time that they're at school? That way, when they got home from school, you were already there. Number 2, why does Mike have to leave his job to come home and deal with that? Why can't she deal with it by herself?
I think probably because it's like 2 huge teenage boys. And she's just like, I got a little baby here. And then, she gives the baby to Bentley, who's 11,
Well, so that was another thing that bothered me. Okay. So before this scene, she has Melody twice.
Yeah.
Taking care of a kid. First it was she was taking care of the boys.
She's 17.
Then she called her down to take care of baby Manhattan. But remember, this is the same person that said, Melody's coming with us so she could be a kid. She's not here to raise our kids and take care of our kids. And what is she doing? Take care of the kids.
I think Melody likes it. I'm just kidding. Melody doesn't like it.
No 17-year-old likes that shit.
You're right. So they get home and she meets him and he's like, grab the baby, whatever. Right. So they go inside. And so Mike pulls his son, Michael Jr., aside, and she goes in to chat with Santana. Now, this is their bedroom. Everybody's like, couldn't have been their bedroom. I was like, that is their bedroom. And believe me when I tell you, they never wanted anything to be filmed in there because they had thrown everything in there so it wouldn't be filmed because the rest of their house is pretty immaculate, like nobody lives there.
Girl.
So there
was... that girl. I just knew this was one of the kids' bedroom.
No.
When they said it was... Did you see the bed?
Yeah. Also remember those kids, I think, had been fighting in there.
No, the actual bed, like it looked like a prison bed, like it was on silver things.
I know, they just didn't have a headboard or anything. Yeah.
No, Mary Payne, you're gonna have to go back and look at this.
It was on a bed frame, but it just didn't have a headboard or like a footboard.
It wasn't a bed frame. It was literally on stilt things.
Well, that's what a bed frame is.
Well, that's not what mine looked.
Well, yours probably has like wood, but if you just buy a bed frame and then attach a headboard to it,
it has plush on it. It's plushy.
Not the
this
feet.
Looks like a prison bed to me.
Okay, all right, I'll go back and look.
Yeah, it looked like a prison bed to me. It looked like every time someone sat on it, that's what it looked like to me.
Okay, I'll go and look at it.
I'll
go and look at Melissa's ass and Justine and Michael's bed. Okay. All right, y'all, let's be real. Cleaning your house is the worst, but it doesn't also have to be toxic. Meet Branch Basics, the only non-toxic, all-natural, plant-based cleaning products that are also seriously effective. Branch Basics is safe for your skin, your pets, and safe for your children. You guys, I can't let Violet and Ginger run around the house picking up toxins. My gosh, these are my babies. And if you have like real kids that walk around and do things like lick the floor like my kids used to do, you need Branch Basics. So you head over to branchbasics.com/pinkshade and use code pinkshade for 15% off your entire order. 15% off your entire order at branchbasics.com/pinkshade with promo code pinkshade. Choose Branch Basics because cleanliness matters. Yeah, because I was like, well, the pack and play is in there, so surely they don't put the pack and play in with. Could have been Melody's room because they could have the baby.
Exactly, that's what I thought that it was. I'm like, look, they even have a damn pack and play in the kids' bedroom. Look at them.
I was like, they put the girls together. Melody, the 17-year-old, and the 6-month-old have to sleep together, and then they put the boys together because that can't be more than like a 3-4 bedroom house. It's not that big. It's like a townhouse.
Ciao.
Okay. So we find out what happened. Okay. So Santana says Michael was bullying him. They're the same age, by the way. They're both 14. And Michael was bullying him, and he got mad to get him to stop, and he threw his phone at him. So that's when Michael's like, your $1,400 phone. You didn't pay $1,400 for that phone.
You did not. You can't afford to buy that kid a $1,400, $1,500, however much it was.
You put that on your Verizon plan and added $30 a month. Now, come on now.
Now, why did they say that, though?
I think he's trying to be like, an iPhone is very expensive. If you just buy it outright, yeah. But if you put it on your phone plan, it's not. So just stop. So he's like, your $1,400 phone, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I just was mad and I didn't know what to do. And so Santana says, Michael was bullying me. He's been bullying me for hours. And he says, so I threw my phone at him. And then he took my phone and put it in the closet and said, if I was a real man, I'd come after him. And Michael punched him.
Why did I think he said, and he put my food in the closet and told me if I were a real man? But you're right. That makes much more sense about the phone. I heard food. But I'm always thinking about food.
I know, but I also initially thought he said food, but then I rewound it and I thought he said phone because that made more sense. But it would also be kind of funny if he took his food away from him and was like, go get your food.
I really thought that's what he said.
Somebody let us know what he said. Either way, it's bad. Michael shouldn't have done that.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yes.
And then Michael punched him, threw him on the floor and, said he's not a real man. And Michael apparently said to Santana, my dad. So Michael's, wait.
No, it's vice versa.
Okay.
It's Santana's dad and Michael's mom.
And Michael was saying, my mom is better than your dad. So like the step parents that you don't see. Right.
Yes.
So
the biological parents that we don't see.
Right. How that got into who knows?
Because they're kids, stupid 14-year-old boys.
Yeah. And Mike is all mad. And he was like, I can't believe I had to leave work and come home to this and da-da-da. And he's like, well, you didn't, but your wife called you. And okay. It also seems like it's 6:00 at night. So probably you probably were already coming home.
You're the manager at the moving company. You got to work late hours, Mary Payne.
Those movers don't work past 4. Have you ever had a mover? They're like, we'll be at your house at 4 a.m. and you better be ready because we like to get off at 5. So Mike's all mad and he throws the phone in the trash and Santana's like, can we get it repaired? He's like, no, we're not getting it repaired. Of course he's getting that shit repaired.
Because look, kids need to have a fucking phone now.
Yeah. You got to go over to you break it, I fix it, pay your $200, get it fixed. Yes. And then Mike punches a hole in the wall. Now, that was a real moment because otherwise you wouldn't punch a hole in the house that you own, even though your mother pays half the mortgage.
And here's the thing. The fact that it didn't surprise Justine or the kids lets you know shit like this goes down. Like his anger pops off. I mean, she didn't even flinch. She's like, oh, here we go again.
I think she's learned when he has a hissy fit to just let it ride it out and then she'll shame him about it later. That's what I think.
You're not about to be fucking up the house.
Oh, I mean, right. But getting mad at him at that moment is just going to make it worse. So she's got to wait for him to calm down. I would have made it worse.
I would have made it worse because I would have been cussing him out and every goddamn thing. And you just did this in front of the 2 kids who you told not to fight.
Who told not to fight and throw punches and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. They need a big, big, big family therapy session.
You think?
Once a week. Yeah. Now that's it. But we get a next time on. Bianca says, I'm not happy with our sex life. He just wants to stick it in.
And she's saying that to the cousin who wants to rage fuck her.
To the boy, to whatever is it, Robert or whatever his name was. Oh, she's like, and I'm available. Do you have any plan B at your house? Kim is trying on a wedding dress, but tells her friend or her cousin or somebody she's still technically married. Oh, it was Tatum?
Yeah. Of all people.
She says she's still technically married. There's no technically. You are or you're not. You're either married or you're not married. There's no technically.
Bitch, you married.
You married. Louie goes to buy a ring and finds out a 2-carat diamond ring at this fancy jewelry store is going to be $20,000 to $23,000, which I could have told him.
Yeah, he could have Google searched that.
Yeah. So he's either going to need to find a pawn shop that has and take a jeweler with him to certify a ring right there on the spot, or she's going to need to lower her expectations.
She needs to lower her expectations because you could have a beautiful ring
My God,
he's got anywhere near that.
He's got $12,000. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend. And I think he should even be like, I'm going to spend $8 and I'm going to save the rest of that. Take us on a real good trip.
I agree 100%. Yeah. Yes.
Take us on a great honeymoon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeruiah goes to her psychic friend and says, there's some sort of negative female drama-filled energy around you. And then Zeruiah's like, that's it. We're getting divorced. She gets all mad. Like, I don't know what she says, but she takes everything this woman says to be the truth. And it gets mad at Troy because this woman said there's drama-filled female energy around them. And Troy's just like, I just came in here to buy some of these like crystal dildos in the background. I don't know what we're doing.
And I hope Troy realizes now that Zeruiah is going to blame him for any and everything that goes slightly wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, she tried to kick him out of the house on like his third date. I'm sorry. The first time he stayed the night, he couldn't even sleep in the fucking bedroom.
No, he had
the
to
next
sleep
morning
on
she kicked him out. Yeah.
Yeah. She had to go sleep on that little love seat.
Yeah, he did. Troy, you better run.
Oh, okay. And then we know they're still together. And then Justine, after Mike punches the hole in the wall, Justine says, Mike is not ready to take on my kids if God forbid anything happened to me. Well, he barely knows his
own fucking kids. He just when he met your kids, he kind of met some of his, like the first time interacting with his kids in the free world.
The two little ones.
These kids are new.
The two little ones that live with two separate moms in Vermont or wherever they are. I mean, come on now.
Girl.
Come on.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the show, Keisha. That's the end of the show. Tell me what is happening with you on the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I saw you guys put out an episode last week, and you're covering Puff Daddy, of course.
Yeah,
and about your favorite girls, 1,000 Pound Sisters.
1,000 Pound Sisters season premiere. We talked about Justin Timberlake.
I have a question. 1,000 Pound Sisters season premiere. Did they like flash forward to what's going to happen with the camel and the drug arrest and everything?
No, I don't think they filmed any of the camel shit. Justice for the camel. I will always forever say that. Justice for the camel. Yeah. I'm on the camel side.
Yeah.
We talked about some good stuff. I can't remember everything right now, but it's a good show. Thank you for the people who have left kind reviews about the show. Thank you.
What about Justin Timberlake, though?
Oh, you didn't hear?
He canceled a concert like 2 hours before or something. Is that what we're talking about?
No, on one of his most famous songs, we find out like the part where he goes in good, deep, that we really feel it's not even him singing.
What do you mean? Who is it?
So on Cry Me a River, when he goes, cry me.
Yeah.
It's Marsha Ambrosia. She's from like the group Poetry, and she's a really, really good singer. But it's her singing that part.
Well, how'd you find that out?
Because she did an interview about it. And plus, she's credited on there. But our dumbasses, since we don't get CDs anymore, we don't really look at that kind of shit.
Yes. No, right. Why
couldn't he sing that himself?
He can get that high note.
Exactly. That's why didn't he sing that himself? But anyway, listen to the show if you want, other details.
To get the scoop. Okay.
Get the scoopity scoop.
Keisha's show is called the Libra Lounge with Keisha, everybody. And that's where you can find it anywhere you listen to your podcast. And you know what else? You could follow her on the Instagram and the Facebook and all the places and do that thing. Leave the nice review. You guys, a lot of times you're like, I can't pay for the subscription services or whatever. What can I do? I love the show. First of all, thank you for saying that. This is an imaginary person in my head that I'm talking to. Thank you to the imaginary person, but you could always leave a 5-star review for the Libra Lounge with Keisha or Pink Shade. And that helps a lot because when you get those reviews, that puts you into somebody else's algorithm that may have never heard of your show. Somebody may see Libra Lounge or Pink Shade pop up and they've never heard of it. And they go, because Apple will recommend things or Spotify. And that's what giving good reviews does. So it's always appreciated. So thank you very much in advance to the imaginary person that is going to go and leave us a nice review.
And just remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Just keep it to yourself. Send us a DM and tell us you don't like us. But don't put it on an Apple review.
Yeah, we'd rather you just DM us. Oh, and I have to say, someone just posted in one of your groups about the Hello Lash.
Yes.
That you've been using.
Oh
my gosh. Like her lashes.
Okay. I got to go look.
She did like from where she first started. I just need to know if I can use, are they lash extension friendly?
I'll find out because I sent some to Matt and I sent some to Kate Casey and I sent some to Kimberly and Katie.
Well,
so
goddamn.
I'll send you.
Got some. Everybody got some except for me, guys.
I didn't send it to you because you got those fake lashes, and so I don't know.
So this is what I want to do. I want my real lashes to grow.
Yeah.
But I also want to look alive. Therefore, I still need my lash extensions on. Yeah. I know that some serums are lash extension friendly.
Okay.
And if they are, I mean, because this woman, oh my God.
It's a huge difference. Lashes. It's a huge difference.
Huge difference. I was like, holy shit balls.
You guys, I did not pay Keisha to say this. I haven't even sent her any free products. As I just outed myself.
Oh my God. Like when I saw that, I literally said, oh my God.
Yeah, it really works. Beautiful. That's why I told you I reached out to them. Jeez. I was like, what can we do to get this happening? And they made me a brand ambassador, or I don't even know what it's called, but it really does work. The links are always in the show notes, but it's helloskincare.com. And when you check out, don't do the subscription service. You can't use my code on a subscription service. It's a one-time code. You can use it every time, but it's a one-time code. Pink shade 20. That'll get you 20% off. And yeah.
Oh, wait, they have other stuff too?
They have two other things. They have a vitamin C serum that you use in the morning, and then they have a nighttime serum that I can't think of the name of it. I just know that I use the orange one in the morning and the purple one at night. And the nighttime one has more like retinoids and stuff in it and some other ingredient that my skincare person just told me, oh, the thing that they have in this night ingredient is like baka da da da. And she was telling me, she's like, that's really good. That's like a new cutting edge. That's great that they have that. I was like, I don't even know. I just slap it on my skin. It's really good. But the code will work on any of those items. Pink shade 20. And I didn't even know you were going to say that. So thank you. Yeah,
promo. Do I get a raise? Do I get a raise? Do I get a raise?
No, but I'll send you some Hello Lash if you I'll get you some Hello Lash sent to you if you would like.
I mean, that's better than a bonus right there, because
it's beauty products. Beauty products.
Yes.
Yeah, we love them.
Yes.
Everybody follow Keisha, follow me, and I'll be back tomorrow with before the 90 days with Kimberly. And on Thursday, I will have Ryan Bailey on to talk pop and Bravo. We'll be talking about pop culture and we'll be talking Bravo. And I'm thinking about doing a very special episode over on Pink Shade Prime with Patrick from Bad TV. It's Dylan and Pat. I love those guys. And he used to work in a recording studio where like Puff Daddy and Snoop Dogg and everybody was in there all the time. And he's got some stories. And I'm going to tell you something.
That's pretty good.
Snoop Dogg is not America's dad like we think he is.
Look, come on. We know that. This whole America's Dad came about once he hooked up with Martha Stewart. I mean, these are thugs. This was gangster rap, okay? These are like the Bloods and the Crips and all of that. This whole grandpa shit, this is all fucking new. There's a hardcore past that goes along with that.
There really is. And he really said that he heard some things that he'll never unhear that were horrifying. Yeah.
Oh God. So, get the interview. Please.
Yeah. So I texted him. I was like, would you come on and talk about that? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. Yeah, love to. Okay. I was like, okay, I don't want to get killed. He's like, oh, everybody's in prison. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But they know people on the outside.
I know. Ooh. Well, they're not gonna pay $10 to listen to it. Well, maybe they will. Well, I live at Bald Head Island, so come find me here. Okay. Right. You got to take a ferry. It's real hard. Everybody, Keisha and I are covering Love is Blind. That is over. Pink Shade Prime. Yeah. Keisha and I, Pink Shade Prime, Love is Blind. This week on Wednesday, we will have episodes 10 and 11 out. 1 through 9 is already there. 10 and 11 will be out this week. Love is Blind, Pink Shade Prime. Do it. Links in show notes. Okay. Bye, Keisha.
Bye.